Hello, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Kowalski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. How art thou? How art thou, my impatience? I hope you guys will come joining and engaging with me as soon as humanly possible, because that's what I like. I like when people come, join, and engage. La 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 la. So I did stand up comedy last. Giant Big Lighter asks, "What should I be for Halloween this year? Do you want to be something scary, or do you want to be something scary or wholesome, or like what are you going for?" He wants to be something scary. I don't know. He says a vampire. Yeah, a vampire's a cool costume. A vampire's a cool costume. Are you going to be celebrating it with any lady? It's always fun to celebrate Thanksgiving with Thanksgiving. It's always fun to celebrate Halloween with ladies. Pizza Pasta says you should be the Green Phantom for Halloween. Ooh. Yeah, I guess. I don't have a party to go to yet, so I have no motivation to get dressed up. But maybe somebody will invite me to a party. I do have some friends, so. Giant Big Lighter says he just kind of hangs out with other parents now. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be getting dressed up either. I mean, maybe some of my friends will throw a Halloween party. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a cool time of year. It's a cool time of year. At the very least, eat the Halloween candy. How was comedy? It was fun. I think it was a good performance because at the end, I mean, even though I don't think my delivery and my material and even after the performance was over, I felt good. I felt chipper. I felt happy, and I made some people laugh. So I think that's all the recipe for having a good performance. Afterwards, I felt good. I didn't feel badly like I bombed, and people laughed at some of the jokes. And that basically, first off, I felt good, which is good, and people laughed. Which, if the goal of comedy is to get people to laugh, so I think overall it was good to get out and make people laugh. Some of the jokes flopped, and some of the people said we get it to some of the jokes, but I got some hecklers. But also, I think overall it was a good night out of the house. It's been a few weeks or months, no, months since I last did it, but I think overall it was fun. It was good to get out, and it was recorded too. I think I'm going to be getting a recording of it either today or tomorrow, or as soon as the worker. I don't want to call him the worker. As soon as he sends it, as soon as the owner sends it. Which is exciting. Which is exciting. I thanked him for doing it. I thanked him for his hard work, and I did pay for it though too. So that's that. You got to keep that in mind as well. Well, I'm appreciative of getting an HD video. When I heard my phone go ding dong. Let's see who's messaging me here. was just my phone went ding dong. It was actually somebody messaging me on Tinder. Apparently, I'm chatting with a lady on Tinder, which is exciting. She's from New Jersey, though. Maybe it'll work out. I mean, but maybe it won't. You never know. Stranger things have happened in the world, right? La 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 la. Bra Brutus says, "What do you think about the results of the Diddy trial?" Puff Daddy. To be honest with you, I wasn't following it too closely. I don't know what Puff Daddy did. Some people say it was a light sentence, and he's lucky he only got 4 years in prison. He could have gotten the remainder of his life in prison. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened, who did what, or anything. I wasn't in the courtroom. I don't know the evidence. I wasn't following the story too closely. I mean, nobody wants to go to jail, but if he deserves jail, which it seems like some people feel he does, then I guess that's good. I don't know. I don't know. To answer your question, not enough evidence to comment. Not enough. Not enough knowledge on the subject matter. He says, "Well, rest in peace, Brian Wilson, nonetheless." Yes, rest in peace, Brian Wilson. Yes, he's our guy. He's our guy, or that's for sure. The Beach Boys. Yeah, a lot of people like to comment on news stories from behind the computer screen without really knowing anything about the story. And I'm not going to say, "Oh, Diddy deserves years in prison." I just don't know. I don't know enough to comment. I don't know enough to comment, and that's good. That's good. I mean, who cares about Diddy? I mean, I care. I mean, I don't care about Diddy. I mean, if he was innocent, then he didn't deserve that. If he was guilty, then he did deserve that. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. Let the legal system figure it out. There's smarter people than me. Well, there's people more qualified to make judgment on that. Yeah, a lot of people like to put their foot in their mouth and comment and express their opinions on something without really knowing the full story, without knowing what's really going on. They just like to say their 2 cents. They just like to say their opinions, and without hearing everything. Without hearing the whole story. We got TB in the house. He's like, "Hello, my impatience. Hello, Andrew. Hey, TB, how art thou? How art thou, TB?" I did. Something. Something I don't really. Like people who heckle comedians. Why do they do that? Like the guy who, even if my jokes are flopping, even if my jokes aren't going over too well, why does somebody have to be loud, rambunctious, and say, "Oh, we get it"? Why does he have to make that nasty comment? It was a big overweight guy, so I think maybe he could see that I was a skinny guy and he was envious of it, or maybe he was just a jerk or a nasty person. I don't know. I mean, why heckle somebody? I indicated that it's amateur hour. I indicated that I'm, getting back into the swing of things, and I'm unconfident and I'm disabled, and Why? I mean, even if he can do better, why heckle somebody? Why say nasty comments to somebody? You know, I don't know. It's just. Well, why say it? Like just it's. Do you ever hear the old expression? If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. I mean, and sometimes you got to criticize people. I mean, it's just a part of life. But sometimes if somebody's performing comedy, I mean, if you don't find it funny, don't laugh. Why scream out? We get it. Like the guy just didn't like me. I mean, that's basically it. You know, he just didn't like me. I could tell upon meeting him, he didn't like me. I don't know why. I've got a good intuition about people, and this was even before he heckled me. I could just tell he didn't like me. He was kind of like I met him before the performance, and he came up to me. He introduced himself. He said, "Oh, this is my name." I'm like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." I was cordial. I was friendly. I didn't say anything rude or obnoxious. But you know how you just kind of like get the sixth sense he doesn't like you, and it's kind of like nobody said anything inappropriate. Nobody. I was polite. He was polite. But actually, during the performance, he heckled me. So it's kind of like he didn't like me, and he made it clear he didn't like me. It's like, don't take it personally. I don't really care what he thinks, but what are you gonna do? Some people just aren't gonna like you for whatever reason, and that's just life. I mean, I don't know what the reason he didn't like me was. Whether whatever the reason may be, who cares what the reason is? Just don't take it personally. Another guy, I mean, heckled me a few months ago for doing my songs, and he said my songs were cringe-worthy, and I'm like, I mean, when people do that, they make you lose confidence. I was performing my songs with confidence. I was performing my comedy with confidence, and when people start heckling you, I mean, granted, criticism is good, and it gives you it helps you hone in on what goes over and what doesn't go over. But also, I was performing my acapella nerd rap to the audience, and one of the comedians cringed, and he made it clear he didn't like it, and as a result, I stopped doing it. So he really, I mean, his negative feedback really influenced my act. So sometimes you might think, just a nasty comment is going to just be brushed off, and sometimes it is, but also sometimes it can really affect somebody and make them completely change their comedy act. I would probably still be doing my songs if he gave me good feedback to it. So he says, "Can we hear some acapella nerd rap?" Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Pizza pasta. Because he made me lose confidence in the songs. He made me lose confidence in performing them, and as a result, I don't do it anymore because I feel like people are cringing. I feel like people don't like it. Somebody says you can't let something one person says dictate your life. Uh, yeah, I know, and I'm not letting it dictate my life. Maybe I'll try, but it makes you question. I guess the point is, if you're in the audience of a comedy show, don't heckle people, don't cringe at people's acts. Even if it's not for you, that's fine. But why just heckle and boo somebody off stage? It's not like I'm doing anything to him. I'm just doing songs that he particularly doesn't like. If I repeat the same punchline 5 times, in different ways. Okay, you know, you don't like that. Why say we get it? Like why do people do that? Why do people have to, heckle somebody? Just sit there silently and let amateur hour happen. And if you think you can do better, then go up there and do better, and like show that you can do better, you know. You know, I was doing my little YouTube songs in public, but some people didn't like it, so I stopped doing it. Afternoon Delight says, unless it's a really funny song, I would just stick to stand-up material. Yeah, see, this. I mean, these are people's opinions, and these opinions affect me. Like everybody's saying, don't do your songs on stage, so I don't. I was doing them on stage, but people rejected it. People said that it was bad, so I stopped doing it. I mean, if you get criticism, you're gonna change your whole act, and that's what I did. So, somebody says, I like the songs through video format, but I don't like when you do it on stage. Okay, that's a fair point. That's your opinion too. I mean, maybe your opinion's correct. Maybe a lot of people feel the same way as you. So that's somebody says they were right to criticize you for that. Were they though, Giant Big Lighter? I mean, I was getting out there. I was getting up on stage. I clearly have a disability. I was having fun. Why criticize me? There's other people who are disabled who do it too, and nobody criticizes that disabled performer. Nobody ever heckles him. Why? Why am I the disabled performer that gets heckled? Think about it. Like there's a guy who's in a wheelchair who performs, and he's got some sort of disability, and nobody heckles him. They just respectfully listen to his act. But when it comes to me, they like to heckle me. I mean, if you think there's no worth here to my act, then why are you heckling me? Somebody says you can't. Yeah, every time something goes wrong, you can't blame it on your disability. Nobody is paying to watch a disabled guy do nerd rap on stage. Hey. Oh, okay. I mean, somebody says, don't let it bother you. Come back and knock the socks off the audience next time. Okay, fair enough. Overall, I was happy with my performance last night. Overall, I think I did a good job. I mean, it wasn't a masterpiece. I was rusty, obviously. I hadn't done it in months, but I had fun. Some of my jokes got laughs, which is the goal of comedy. So overall, good night out of the house. I felt good afterwards. I did an abbreviated version of the 9/11 joke. I had like a minute or two left, so I had to rush through it. And it actually went over better, rushing through it and just hitting the bullet points. Rather than doing a long drawn out joke, I just said, how do you make, I just said briefly, how do you write an erotic paper on September 11th? When we I just did like a really quick version of the joke. And I think that actually went over better. I just basically just hit the punchlines of the joke rather than just like drawing it out. All right, guys. Yeah, I guess there's really not a whole lot much more to say. I mean, unless you got some questions. Some people were respectful. I'm not saying the entire audience was hecklers. There are some people in the audience that were hecklers. But I'm not saying the entire audience was. There were some people who were laughing at my act. And hey, if you go out there and you get people laughing and you're feeling good and they're feeling good, that's a good day. That's a good day. All right, guys. Anybody have any last questions or comments here, or does that about cover it? All right, adios, guys. Peace out.